Good morning. Welcome to practice. Well, today we'll wrap up our sun salutation series. We're gonna go back and look at some of the things that we've done already, add a few little elements onto it to kind of make the sun salutation the base of your own custom practice and how you want to work it. But let's start like we often do. Let's just go ahead and get ourselves seated, grounded, and ready for this practice, okay? So sitting up nice and tall, if you'd like, maybe sit up on a rolled up blanket or a block if you have it. I do this so that it allows my knees to drop below my hips. That allows your pelvis to tilt forward. You can sit up nice and straight. Take a couple of deep breaths all the way in through the nose and out through the nose. And just kind of take stock of your environment. Making note of anything you hear, sights and smells. Noting all the places that you're in contact with the floor. Noting your breath. Yourself. Let's start with a little grounding exercise that I learned from one of my favorite yogis. Just take your fingertips and begin tapping along the center line on your head. Gently tapping along the center line. We're going to focus our awareness on our internally, on the sensations within your body, how you feel. Very good. Now let's use one finger and tap along your temples. And then move on down, a little bit stronger tapping on your masseters, on your jaw muscles. These are often a hold tension when we have stress. And then this space underneath your nose, use one knuckle and just gently tap right there. Maybe the space underneath your lower lip. Gently tapping there. And then alongside on both sides of your neck, big finger tapping all along that side. Not only does this focus your awareness on the sensations in your body, this also facilitates lymphatic drainage. So, hey, added benefit. Now, at center line, at heart center, tapping here. Good. Now, arms out to the sides, pointing your thumbs inward, tapping along the sides. And then make fists, pounding on the thighs. Working your way down the legs to the calves, if you can reach them, and feet. And finish up just by big flat hands on your thighs, pressing yourself down to the ground. Big inhale, and as you exhale, allow your eyes to go out of focus, or close your eyes, and then just rest your hands in your lap, and then begin to focus on your breath. Just notice the gentle inflow of your breath at your nose, and notice the exhale. Let's take a little bit more intentional control of our breath. Take a nice inhale all the way in through the nose. Complete exhale all the way out through the nose. Now, inhaling for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhaling for a count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling 8. Inhaling 4. Exhaling 8. Inhaling for 4. Holding for 4. Exhaling for 8. And at the end of your count, by 8, your chin should be touching your chest. And then inhale, rolling the left ear up to the left shoulder. And then gently exhale, roll your chin back down to the chest. Very slow, deliberate motion, inhaling up to the right. Exhaling, chin back down to the chest. And then just keep this motion going on your own. 3 or 4 more breaths. Very fluid motion. No stopping or holding of the breath. Just in flowing up to one side and out flowing down. Coming back to center, clasp your hands behind you. Take a big inhale. Press your arms away from you and lift your arms away from your body. Focus on the breath and just allow good stretch across the front of your chest and your shoulders. Very good. Inhaling, arms come up and overhead, palms touch. Exhale. Bring the right hand down along behind you, left hand down to the right thigh, and look back over your right shoulder. Sitting up nice and tall. Release as you exhale and look back a little bit further. On your next inhale, arms begin to float back up overhead, palms touch. And then exhale, bring the left hand down behind you, right hand to the left thigh. Continuing to look back over the left shoulder. Breathe. Inhaling, the arms float back up, palms touch. Look up, and then exhale, right hand comes down to the right side, left arm stays up, stretching, reaching across. Nice seated twist. Lift your heart. Look up and to the left. Using that right hand to keep both of your sit bones contacting the floor or the block. Exhale, roll your shoulder forward, reach forward and across. Feel that shoulder separate, move from midline. Feel a good stretch on the upper back. Inhale, rolling the heart open to the sky, arching back slightly, looking up. Exhale to the side. And inhale, coming on up. But continue that motion, bringing the left hand out to the left side. Right arm comes up and over. Reaching up and out of your hips. Look up at that right hand. Looking good, Carrie. Exhale, reaching forward and across. On an inhale, roll your heart open to the sky, looking up. Exhale to the side, and then inhale right on up to a sit. Resting your hands on your thighs. Let's do Nadi Shodhana today. It's alternate nostril breathing without the retention. We'll use our Vishnu Mudra on the right hand, folding down the fingers, the first two fingers. We'll just rest our left hand on our thigh. Bring the finger and the thumb together for Gyan Mudra. We'll use the thumb to cover our right nostril, our ring finger to cover our left nostril, and I'll count for you. All you do is just focus on the gentle flowing of the breath without gaps, in and out. Take a nice gentle inhale all the way in through the nose and out through the nose. Another big inhale all the way in through the nose. Covering the right nostril with your thumb. Exhale for a count of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Cover the left nostril. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, same side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the thumb, open the finger. Exhale, 8. Same side, inhale for 4. Close the finger, open the thumb. Exhale, 8. Inhale for 4. Close the thumb, open the finger, exhale. Inhale, same side. Close the finger, open the thumb, exhale. Inhale, same side. Close the thumb, open the finger, exhale. Inhale, same side. Close the finger, open the thumb, exhale, 8. Same side, inhale. Close the thumb, open the finger, exhale. Release your hand to your lap. Release your breath. Releasing any tension in your shoulders. Sit very still. Just observe your breath. When you're ready, flutter your eyes open. And you roll out your shoulders a little bit, shake it off, find your way over to tabletop position. We're going to start off with just a couple cat-cows, kind of start mobilizing our spine. And then we're going to move right into to customizing our sun salutation for our warm-up, for movement-based meditation, and for our workout. So I like to use a blanket under my knees, my old bony knees, and then I put, you want to make sure that for alignment-wise, your knees are under your hips, your wrists are under your shoulders, hands are nice and flat, pressing into the knuckles of your thumb, your index finger, and your pinky, and your palm. Fingers are flat as well and spread. Inhale, lifting the crown of your head, lifting your tail, allowing your heart to come forward. And then exhale, tucking the tail, tucking the chin, and rounding the back, pressing the shoulders away. Inhale, lifting the crown, lifting the tail. Exhale, tucking the chin, tucking the tail. Let's keep this going at your own breath. 3, 4 more times. And when you're ready, come back to center and we'll go side to side. Exhale as you look back to the left. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, looking back to the right. Inhale, coming forward. And just keep that motion going on your own. 3, 4 more times. Very good. Coming back to center, plant the left hand underneath your nose. Lift the right arm up to the sky. Nice open twist. Reaching the arms away from one another. Like you're trying to reach something that's just out of your grasp. Looking up at that right hand. And then big inhale, exhale, that hand comes down under the nose. Left hand comes up to the sky. Reaching the arms away from one another. Exhaling that hand back down to the mat and walk your hands way out overhead. Melt your heart down towards the mat. Lift your tailbone, melt your hearts down. Opening up underneath the arms, the chest, and the upper back. Inhaling, plant the hands, walk them back underneath you. Actually, bring your hands to the top of the mat, nice and flat. And then we're going to tuck our toes, lift the knees, lift the hips up to the sky. Press your heart down towards your feet, coming into the downward facing dog. This is one of the first elements of our deconstructed sun salutation. We'll move really slowly as we warm up. So you pedal your feet out. Begin to warm up the legs and the ankles, just the ankles. As they begin to warm up, maybe come to a place of stillness. Press your heels down towards the floor. Engage your quadriceps muscles, flexing the muscles in the front of your thigh, lifting your knee bones, and pressing your heart down towards your feet. Arms are nice and straight. Biceps are turned forward. The shoulders are on the back of your body. Engage your core muscles, tightening your lower abs. That's going to allow you to lift your hips a little higher. Now inhale, lifting that left foot up behind you, and then stepping forward between your hands. Coming into a low lunge, second element of our deconstructed sun salutation. You might want to use your blocks here. It'll give you a little bit of extra height to lift your heart, lift your chest, and press it forward. Stay here for just a couple of breaths. Letting your hips wake up to this movement. Next inhale, lift that back knee, straightening the leg and step back to the top of a plank. Move your blocks out of the way if you're yapping, and then drop your knees, your chest, and your forehead towards the mat. Coming into chaturanga, then sliding, pressing your pelvis into the mat, point your toes, lift your chest and shoulders, cobra pose, bhujangasana. Then tuck your toes, lift your knees and hips, pressing back into downward dog. Lift the right foot, step forward between the hands, and we're low lunging on the other side. This being our 5th week of sun salutation classes, you will have noticed that we just moved through our whole sun salutation in a different order. The only thing we're missing is forward fold and a high salute. Big inhale. Now straightening that back leg, step forward. Plant next, the left and right feet are together. Exhale, folding forward. Uttanasana. Let's hang here for just a sec. Let your arms hang down. If your arms are touching the ground, crisscross your arms and just allow gravity to lengthen your spine. Lengthen those muscles that are supporting your spine, the erectors, the muscles that run between your ribs. Allow them to gain a little space. Let your hands touch the floor. Exhale, and then inhale, hinging from the hips. Engage your abdominals and come to standing. Bring your arms up overhead. Arch back slightly, extending the spine, and then exhaling your hands to your heart center. We've inhale, reaching the arms up and overhead. Engaging the core. Exhale, fold forward, touch the floor. Stepping back with the left foot. All the way back, drop the knee, press your heart forward. Coming up to the knee, coming up to the hips, let's rock forward and back, starting to warm up the hip flexors on the left. And then coming to stillness in the forward position, engaging the glutes on the left side. Feel a good stretch in the front of the hips. Bring both arms up and overhead, reaching up. Remembering to breathe. And then exhaling, bring the hands together. Turn to the right. Hook that left elbow over the right knee and look up over that right elbow. Engaging your lower abs, inhaling, bringing your torso upright, hands to heart center, exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to the top of a plank, and then lowering down into chaturanga, either drop your knees or don't, and then using your strong arms, lowering yourself slowly to the bottom of a push-up, press your pelvis into the mat, point your toes and lift your chest and shoulders, bhujangasana. And exhale. Tuck your toes, lift your knees and hips, coming through your tabletop into downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting that left foot. Step forward between the hands. Dropping the back knee, press the heart forward. Inhale. Bringing the hands to the knee, to the hips. Rocking back and forth, warming up the hip flexors. Coming to stillness in the forward position, bring the arms up and overhead, reaching up, arching back. Engage the right glutes. Continue to breathe. Now, big inhale. And as you exhale, bring the hands together, draw them down. Hook the right elbow over the left knee and look back and up over that left elbow. Pressing your hands together, allowing that strength of your arms to keep your torso up off your thigh and create a nice line of energy from the knee up the crown of the head. Engage your abs. Inhale, lifting your torso. Arms come up and overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat. One more big inhale. Pressing your heart forward, and then exhale, step forward. Feet come together. Forward fold. Slight bend in the knees, hinging up from the hips. Arms come up, torso comes up. Arch back. Exhale, the hands come to the heart. Inhale, arms come up and overhead. Exhale, folding forward. Touch the mat. Inhale, step back to the top of the plank. And slowly lower yourself down to the mat. Resting on your abdomen, make a pillow with your hands. Rest your forehead on your hands. Let's just rest here for a moment. When you're ready, plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Press your torso up, coming through your tabletop. Point your toes, bring your knees together and sit back onto your heels. Stretching out the top of the feet and the ankles. Take a couple of breaths here. And then gently roll your torso down onto your thighs. You want to rest the lower thighs, lower ribs resting on your thighs. Rest your chest onto your thighs. Allow your hands to come alongside your feet, palms facing up. Let the crown of your head fall down towards the mat or rest on the mat. Breathe into the back of your body. Feel the ribs separating with each inhale. Very good. Pressing your hands into the mat. Come back up to a sit on the tops of your feet. And then tuck your toes under. And sit on your heels. And sit on the balls of your feet. Something going on with my talker today, so please just bear with me. Take a couple breaths here. Find that sweet spot where you're stretching out the entire bottom of your foot. This stretch is good for the prevention of plantar fasciitis. That plantar fascia that connects all of these tendons and ligaments that hold together your foot. Very good. Come forward, planting your hands. Bring your knees as wide as the mat, maybe even wider. Bring the toes together in the back, touching. Sit back onto your heels. Feeling a good stretch on the groin. I feel this in the back, outside of my hips. Walk your hands out and overhead and melt your heart down towards the mat. Rest your forehead on the mat. Focus on your breath. Child's pose. Throughout your practice, be true to yourself. If you get to a point where it's feeling stressful, or you feel any pain or stress in our practice, you can always return to child's pose, regroup, and catch up wherever we are. Very good. Coming back up. Knees come back together. Coming back to your tabletop. Walk your hands out to the front of the mat. Lift the knees and hips, coming to downward dog. And then walk the feet forward between your hands. Engage your core. Back up to stand. Find yourself standing in mountain pose. Feet planted. Shoulders on the back body. Lifting through the crown of the head. So with our sun salutation, if we think back to week 2, we were using our traditional sun salute as a motion-based meditation practice, using it to focus our attention on our movement and our breath and our mind. So let's move through one sun salutation, moving with one breath, one movement. I'll guide you, inhaling your hands up to heart center, exhale. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, folding forward, touch the mat. Inhale, step back with the left, low lunge. Retain the breath, step back to the top of a plank. Drop the knees, exhale, lowering down into chaturanga. Inhale, press the pelvis and the tops of the feet into the mat, lifting the chest and shoulders, Bhujangasana. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the knees and hips, down dog. Inhale, step forward with the left, heart comes forward. Exhale, step forward with the right, fold forward. Inhale, come to stand, palms come up and overhead. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step back with the right, low lunge. Holding the breath, step back to the top of a plank. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, stepping forward with the right. Low lunge. Exhale, stepping forward with the left. Forward fold. Inhale, coming to stand. Arms come up and overhead. High salute. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Big inhale. And then exhale, hands to the sides, palms forward, mountain pose. Last week we talked a little bit about our sun salutation B. We started talking about how to make this a well-rounded practice. And one of the things that we identified was that there are no twists, And there are no balancing elements in the sun salutation. So let's look at our sun salutation B that we did last week. But let's add a couple of elements so that we can add those elements that are missing and turn this into a more well-rounded flow. So standing at the front of your mat in mountain pose. Inhale, arms come to heart center, and exhale. Inhale, arms float up. High salute. Exhale, fold forward, touch the mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, sit back into your chair pose, lifting your heart, lifting your arms up and overhead, sitting back on your heels. We have an opportunity here to add a twist. So inhale and then exhale, bring the hands together, look to your right, hook that left elbow over the right knee, look back. Take a big inhale, coming back up to the high salute, arching back. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center, sitting back into your chair pose. Turn to the left, hook the right elbow, come to your twisted chair. Pressing the strong feet into the mat. Inhale, arms come up and overhead. Come to stand. Exhale, fold forward, touch the mat. Inhale, step back with the left. Now you can either drop your back leg coming into a low lunge, or you can leave the back leg lifted for high lunge. If you can plant that left hand, bring the right arm straight up and overhead, coming into another twist in this position. Exhale that hand back down, step back to the top of your plank. Here, you can either lower your knees or not, and then lower yourself into chaturanga, which is the lower part of your push-up. Inhale, slide forward, press the pelvis into the mat. You can either lift up into cobra, or you can press all the way up into downward facing dog. And then exhale, tuck the toes, coming into downward facing dog. Inhaling, step forward with the left. Spin that back heel downward to the mat and engage your core muscles coming up to warrior one. Press the pelvis forward, squared towards the front of your mat. Both feet are planted, bearing the weight on both feet. Go to the breath. Now, this is one of the opportunities we have to move into a balancing pose. So shift your weight forward into that left foot. Lift your right foot behind you and grab it with your right hand. Kick into that right hand into the right foot, coming to balance into dancer's pose. You ready? Step back into your warrior one. Arms come up and overhead. Exhale, hands come back to the mat. Step back to the top of your plank. And then move through to your chaturanga, dropping the knees, lowering yourself down. Inhaling, pointing the toes, lifting the chest. Cobra. Exhale. Tuck the knees. Lifting the knees and hips, coming into down dog. Let's do the other side. Lift the right foot. Step forward. Exhale. Step back to the top of a plank again because I went on the wrong side. And then step forward with the left. Heart comes forward. Plant that right hand, lifting the left hand up to the sky. If you'd like to engage that back leg, lifting the back leg for a high lunge. Step back to the top. Plant that left hand, step back to the top of a plank. Lowering it down to chaturanga, slide forward, bhujangasana. Exhale. Tuck toes, down dog. Step forward with the right. And then spin that left heel down, lowering your torso, coming into warrior one on this side. Really sinking forward. You're aiming to have the knee over the ankle, pressing into the outside edge of the back leg, the back foot, and square your hips off towards the front of the mat. Big inhale. Exhale, draw the hands down. Shift your weight onto that right foot. Reach back and grab the left foot with the left hand. As you kick the left foot into the left hand, tilt forward, coming into dancer's pose. It's okay if you need to grab your curtains to hold yourself up or touch the wall. And then when you're ready, step back to the top of your warrior one. Arms come up and overhead. Exhale, hands come down to the heart, come down to the mat, step back to the top of the plank. Lowering down to chaturanga. Slide forward, press the pelvis into the mat. Lifting into bhujangasana or down or up dog. Tuck the toes, coming into down dog. And then inhale, stepping forward with the right. High lunge. Stepping forward with the left. Bringing the arms up, sitting back into your chair pose. Inhale, coming up to stand. Exhale, hands come together, heart center. Big inhale. Exhale, releasing your hands to your side. Shoulders on the back, palms forward. Just attend to your breath. Big inhale. Exhale. Come to lying down on your mat. Let's take a brief rest. Extending your legs out and below you. Let your arms rest out to your sides. The arms are away from your body. Palms facing up. Feeling heavy and sinking down into the mat. Notice how your body's feeling now after all of that movement. Taking big, complete inhales. Exhaling completely. Controlling the breath. Bringing your heart rate back into its normal. All right, let's prepare to go into our shoulder stand. Because you know what? You're not going to get out of one of my classes unless you go upside down. So, so plant your feet and then plant your hands alongside your bottom. When you're ready, roll your knees up to the nose and catch your low back. And then walk your hands up your back. Walk your elbows closer together. And then press your heels up to the sky. Coming into shoulder stand. Sarvangasana. This is so good for helping with Venus return allows all of that, the blood that's been hanging out in your feet and legs, gives it a fast forward highway to central circulation. This changes the way your body manages its blood pressure. And much like our pranayama work, it also engages the vagus nerve, allowing for rest and healing. If you like to, you can lower your feet down above your head, coming into plow pose. It's not important that your feet touch the floor. If they don't, just continue to support your back. If they do, you can clasp your hands, straighten them out underneath you. You should be bearing the weight on your shoulders, not so much on your neck or your head. When you've had enough of this, gently bend the legs, drawing the knees by the ears. Roll yourself back down to the mat slowly. Extending the legs out below you. Take a couple deep breaths here. We engage the front of our body last. So let's engage the back of our body in this move. And let's go into bridge pose. So plant the feet. Bringing them into just about where you can touch them with the tips of your fingers. Feet are about hip width apart. And then you can point your fingers up towards the sky, pressing your elbows down into the mat. Take an inhale and lift your pelvis up to the sky. Walk your shoulders onto the back of your body. Press down in your strong feet. Engage your glutes, pressing your pelvis up a little higher. And then just go to your breath. We're going to go for a nice 3 long breaths here. One more big breath. And then as you exhale, lower your bridge. Big inhale. Grab your left knee. Exhale. Pull that knee into your chest. Exhaling that foot back down to the mat. Big inhale. Grab the right knee. Exhale, tug it in towards the right shoulder. Now grab the left knee, pull it into, so you got both of your knees. You kind of pulled yourself into a little ball, and now rocking up and down the mat, rolling up and down the mat. On the next roll up, we're going to find ourselves balancing in Navasana pose. Balancing on your bottom, extending the legs out in front of you, extending the arms out in front of you. The lower legs are in parallel to your mat. Lifting the heart, engaging your lower core. If you like, you can straighten your legs, straighten the arms, lifting the heart. Exhale, bringing the toes in, grab them with your 2 first fingers, and then you can, once again, extend the heels away from you. Allow this to pull your heart forward, straightening the legs, pressing the knees straight on one side and then the other. Very good. Bring the feet together and down. And then come to sitting up. Bring the heels together, the soles of the feet together, pulling them in towards your groin, coming into Baddha Konasana. Couple variations here. You can either flap your legs. This is kind of a dynamic stretch. It's activating those muscles and connective tissues in your groin and allowing them to begin to lengthen. The other thing you can do, and this is actually, I feel, feels a lot better to me today, is you engage the muscles on the outside of your hips. Really flex those muscles and draw your knees down using the muscles on the outside of your legs. This does a couple of things. While you're engaging those muscles on the outside, your brain is telling the muscles and the tendons on the inside to relax. This is reciprocal inhibition. And it happens with anything. Anytime you move one body part in one direction, the muscles on the other side have to relax in order to let it happen. You can use this to your advantage when stretching. Very good. Releasing this stretch. Tuck the right foot under, pointing the toe. Bring the left foot over the right thigh, planting the foot on the outside of the thigh. Bring the left hand around behind you to the base of your spine. Bring the right arm up. Reaching up and out of the hips, exhaling. Hook that left knee and look back over your left shoulder. This is seated twist or Ardha Matsyendrasana, the half Lord of the Fishes. Inhale, coming forward. Continuing on around to the right side for a counter twist. And then releasing that. Uncross the legs. Let's cross them the other way. Tucking the left foot under and the right foot over. The right hand comes to the base of your spine. Left arm goes straight up, extending the spine, nice and low. Exhale, reach around that right leg, look back over the right shoulder. Inhale, releasing this twist, looking around to the left for a counter twist. Very good. Now, still sitting up, planting the feet. Let's do our seated figure 4 stretch. So with our in this seat, support yourself. Maybe your hands will come about a foot behind you here. Lift your bottom and cross the left ankle over the right knee. Flex this left ankle. Press the left knee away. Gently lower your bottom to the floor and press your heart towards the bent leg. Or another way to think of it is to think of bringing your right knee towards the right shoulder, while continuing to press the left knee away, the right knee come in, flexing the left ankle. Whole lot of cueing in this one. You ought to feel this deep in the gluteal muscle on the left. We're stretching our piriformis muscle. And that's the one we're aiming for anyhow. On your next big inhale, lift your bottom and uncross. Planting the left foot. Cross the right ankle over the left knee now. Flexing the right ankle. Press the right knee away. And draw the left knee towards the left shoulder. 2 more breaths. Next inhale, uncross, and then come to lying down on your mat for final relaxation. If it's more comfortable for you to sit up for your relaxation, to lie on your side, this is your practice, so you do it the way it feels good for you. I like to lie on my back. I also like to use a little bit of a blanket roll under my knees. And it reduces the tension in the low back. It allows me to relax more fully. So find your position of comfort. Take a nice big inhale all the way in through the nose. Open up the mouth and sigh it out. Let's do that one more time. Big inhale through the nose all the way in. Open the mouth. Sigh it out. Releasing any tension you have. Down into the mat. Feeling nice and heavy. Releasing any tension in your jaw or your forehead. Releasing control of your breath. Releasing control of your thoughts. It's okay if you have thoughts. Just let them float on by. No stories. Just focus on the breath as you rest in Shavasana. It's time to come back into your bodies. Begin to deepen your breath. Wiggling your fingers and toes. Roll out the wrists and ankles. And reach your arms up and overhead. Good stretch on the left side and the right sides of your body. Roll over to your side and gently press yourself up to a seated position. All right, hands together at your heart center. Let's take a nice gentle inhale for Om. Namaste, yoginis. Pleasure practicing with you guys. That wraps up our sun salutation series. All of these are posted on YouTube in case you have an interest to go back and see any element of it. We did traditional sun salutations. We did sun A and B. We did chair yoga. We did all kinds of fun stuff. We mixed it up over the last 4 or 5 weeks just to try and keep you interested, keep me interested, and I hope you got something out of it. If there's if there's any part of it that you have questions or anything, please ask at any time. And it was a pleasure practicing with you all today. Have a wonderful weekend. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Namaste. Enjoy this gorgeous day.
Yeah, it looks beautiful out.